I want to talk a little bit about what we think is the next step for CX, and I want to share a bit about what we at Gorgias are seeing with merchants, and talk about like what we think this future is going to look like. So let's dive in. So first off, that may be familiar, like what you're seeing on the screen. Like when you are a CX leader, you tend to get a lot of requests from customers from like all the different channels that they may be using, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, email. And so the big challenge is that obviously you need to handle all this volume. And the other thing is that every year the bar to respond to customers gets higher. So that means maybe last year 12-hour response time was good, but now there's like TikTok Shop, and that means like customers might be like, hey, I want a response within an hour. So the challenge that everybody faces in the industry is that the bar gets higher, gets raised year after year, which is obviously a challenge. And the other thing is that obviously like this phenomenon of like getting all these messages from customers is something that gets accelerated throughout the holiday season and specifically BFCM. So that is something that is coming up. So I want to talk a little bit about like what is it that we can do collectively to provide the best possible experience to our customers during this important time of the year. I was chatting the other day with a merchant who was saying, I get a lot of my first time customers during the holiday season at BFCM, like maybe they're buying something for a friend or like taking advantage of a discount that might be happening in BFCM during BFCM. And so then that's an opportunity to essentially like build a relationship with these customers so that then in 2025 they can come back and buy from your brand. So that's like a pretty important time of the year that we all want to get right. So here is what usually happens during BFCM. This is like true stats from the Gorgias Hoven. So here you can see that on average, like our merchants are getting like, let's call it like 6 million conversations every month. So you see like this is the ramp we see like in the fall, and then obviously like November and December are like really busy months, and January as well, where there's like all these requests around like people go shopping for Christmas, and then there's like, hey, I want to return, and so all these like return tickets tend to appear like right after Christmas or in January. So there's obviously this huge spike that we all need to handle, and that's obviously a big challenge for all CX teams. And so I was just chatting with merchants before joining this webinar, and we were discussing like, hey, how do you feel about the holiday season? And if you haven't hired your additional staff, I have some good news. It's not too late. First off, it takes about like a month to train a team for like your tone of voice, for like your internal processes. So that's you still have time to hire this additional staff to be able to like manage this additional volume of tickets. And what usually happens if you're like first time in this industry is like the spike is like around like 2x during the height of the season. So couple of things to think of as you get into a BFCM. What a lot of brands do is hire temporary workers, so that can be interns, they can be BPOs, and that's also a good way to recruit. Like we had our CX Connect conference with Gorgias in LA in June, and interestingly, like some of the best CX leaders were people who started like during the holiday season as temp workers, and that's like a talent pool that can then be hired for a longer period in the company. So something to think about. You want to make sure you ramp these agents ahead of time. So like you're teaching them your processes, teaching them your brand of your tone of voice, so that when they interact with the brand, it feels authentic. There's going to be challenges. There's like maybe the warehouse is going to run into an issue and packages are going to be delayed. Maybe like your like part of your stack will go down. So like that's, I think, another thing to think of as you get ready for BFCM is to have a like shit hits the fan plan of like, it's not working as expected. Like, what is it that we do? Like, who's responsible for it? What changes? Do we have a war room stand up every day to just like check in on what's going on? How do we communicate with customers about it? Like, are we very public, or like we try to focus on the handful of customers that are impacted? Is something that you might want to think of just before a BFCM. And then And the last one is like usually merchants, we tend to have like business hours of like Monday through Friday, and then like maybe specific business hours for weekends. Like what you might want to do is to have like an all in on decks approach where you're like, okay, like I'm going to provide 24/7 support for like from let's say Thanksgiving to like Cyber Monday, and so this way you can provide like the best possible experience during this time. So yeah, that's those are a few tips that we see from the Gorgias side on how to do well on BFCM. And obviously, like we all have our like war stories of like, this was my first BFCM. These are the challenges I faced. We figure it out, and then year after year, we find the thing, and then it only gets better. So that's something that I wanna celebrate here is that I think this group here, like all the users of Gorgias and folks in e-commerce, like do already a pretty good job at providing CX in the industry if you compare with other categories. So there's support on every single channel. That's Gmail to chat to Meta. So obviously that's quite a bit of work. And in spite of the fact that we get contacted through different channels, our response time is really great, like 10 hours, which is like much better than other industries in consumer. Some brands even get it down below 1 hour, so pretty solid. And the CSAT is also really solid at 4.6. So just take a moment to appreciate that what you're doing is great, and you're doing a good job to serve these customers relative to like more like traditional brands who might not give that much attention to their customers. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about like what's next in the industry and what we're excited about at Gorgias. So on our side, the upcoming feature is AI agents, which is available 24/7. That's the thing that was written in this card top left, bottom left. So yeah, available all the time, responds within 1 minute. AI agent knows your customers, so it has all the context from Shopify, from your like recharge, from your return platform, and then it can also take actions to resolve tickets. So that means like making some edits to an order, reshipping something, which I think is really exciting. So like back to this conversation on like, are we ready for BFCM? One of the things I encourage everyone to do in the industry, whether that's through AI agent provided by Gorgias or like any other vendor, is like to put AI at work during the holiday season so that you get some help, because it's just a fantastic experience to get your problems resolved within 1 minute. And in my conversations earlier today on the topic with merchants, like what I'm seeing is that there's like maybe 5-10% of merchants who are like using AI to this day in production. And so I think for those of you who are considering it, I think it's a good time of the year to just be like, okay, let me give this a try. You can be up and running within a day or two, and happy to answer like questions on the chat if you're wondering about this. But I think it's working if you put on the time to set it up, and that's an incredible customer experience. And I think another thing that stands out about AI is the fact that usually when we build a brand, there's like an identity to that brand, or like a special tone of voice that we want to have that differentiates us from like an Amazon or like a retailer that sells at Walmart. And so what we want to do is to like leverage that. And I think AI is also a way to like have your tone of voice scaled to every interaction with your customers, which is particularly exciting during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So yeah, if you have a question on this, feel free to jump in, or reactions, or like how you feel about AI, because yeah, obviously buzzword of the last 18 months, but definitely some really strong potential here. So yeah, let's dive in. So I want to talk a little about like what is it that AI can do for your business in the next 3 months. So I want to tell you the story of a merchant, ICSM, which is Glamnetic. It's a magnetic eyelashes out of LA, led by Mia, who's their CS manager. And they are a very solid team. And so these are the types of questions that they get. There's about a fourth of the tickets that are, hey, am I going to get my product on time? Or like there's some issue with shipping. Another one would be, I need to change my address. And then the last one would be like returns with VIP customers. So like things that you want to pay special attention to. So without further ado, let me show you a little bit like how this whole thing works. And I'm going to try something I should not try, which is to screen share on my phone while doing this thing. So I don't know if that's going to work. I think I'll probably just do it on the laptop here. That's going to be easier. But high level is, so let's take a look. So what I'm going to do is send an email over to the team at Gamnetic. So what I did earlier today is that I placed an order to buy something from them. And I was like, hey, like, when am I going to get it on time? So I'm just using my phone right now and here and like emailing Gamnetic and being like, hey, where's my order? Okay, so I just send that email. And what I want to show you is like how AI agent works in the backend and is going to help with this particular concept. So let me pull up the tickets and show that over to you. Okay, so we're right here. So here I'm Romain. I'm a customer. Bought something from Gamnetic for someone on our team. I don't use magnetic eyelashes yet, but well, I just want to know like what's going on with my order. I want to know like when am I going to get it. Well, here the order. So what's happening is like that creates a ticket in Gorgias, and then like any ticket that you would have. And then what's interesting is that AI agent is going to have access to the Shopify e-commerce. Jordan, do you mind muting yourself? Thanks. So yeah, AI agent's gonna have access to like the order itself from Shopify. So you can see like when I place the order, you can see like what's in my order. I use the discount, what's my shipping address, and essentially like have the full visibility into what's going on. And so what AI agent's gonna do is get that message, which is like, where is my order? And then respond over here, identifying the whole context of the customer, saying, hey, thank you for reaching out for your order. I see that it was placed recently today. It's been less than 2 business days, so it's currently being processed. So what AI agent did here is to look up like, what is it that is going on in Shopify, so that we can address the question from the customer and then respond with this information. So telling the customer, hey, it's going to ship within 48 hours. Just hold on and get your confirmation email. So that's the first step of like AI agent is going to respond immediately to your shipping questions within 1 minute with the right information. And so I want to talk a little bit about the way it works. Because sometimes we have this expectation of like you turn on AI and that's going to work really well for your business. But it actually requires a bit of work to like train the AI the same way you would train temporary staff to help out. So what you're going to do here is to create a bunch of instructions. We call them guidance at Gorgias. And what these are is how you should respond to customers in given cases. So here, we created a bunch of guidance. One is order status inquiry within 2 days of placing an order, which is what's going on here because placed the order earlier today. I'm inquiring now, so I'm in this scenario. And so what's happening is that AI agent is going to respond just like this on like I showed you, like thanks for reaching out. You'll get your order within a few hours. So then it closes the ticket, end of the story. And so what's interesting is that what I can do is to actually ask AI agent to take actions to make edits to my order. So it's not just about providing information, but it's also about directly responding to customers. So what I'm going to do from here, as you can see here, so let me just pull this up. So say I'm going to respond to AI agent saying, okay, sure, I actually made a mistake placing my order and the address is not 175 Sansom in San Francisco, it's actually 180. And so just like that, what I can do as a merchant, as a customer, is to say, okay, like this is what I want to change in my order. And so what's interesting is that here, what we have in the backend is the ability to make some changes in Shopify. So this is like an example of replacing an item. We have actions that can edit a shipping address as well. And so in that particular case, AI agent has the capability of taking some actions. And what it's going to do is figure out what is the right action I should use. So in this case, making an address edit. And then if we continue here on the thread, agent responds and say, hey, thank you for providing the updated shipping address. To proceed with the change, I need to confirm that it's the new address, that it's accurate. So we want to make sure we get this right, because sometimes like people might type the address in different ways. So agent may need to like standardize the format. So agent asks for confirmation. Customer says, I confirm. And then what happens from there is like, sure, I've updated your shipping address to 180 Sansom. Your order will be dispatched to the new address. And the reason we were able to do that is because the order was placed today. The request from me, in that case, the customer, to change this order was happened like within 4 hours of the order, which means like the order hasn't left the warehouse just yet. It hasn't been fulfilled. So I can have AI agent change the shipping address in Shopify. That is then going to update ShipMonk, the warehouse management software. And just like that, boom, we've resolved a ticket from a customer without any human intervention. So we told them what is the shipping timeline, and second, we made the order IDs. So these are some capabilities of AI agent. Now let's take a look at something that's different, which would be like a return from a VIP customer. So say I have one of my like top customers just saying, hey, it's too late to return. I placed the order not so long ago. And turns out the return policy is 30 days, but it's been actually more than that. So what do we do in that case? If you were to say, okay, like just follow the process, it's going to be an immediate no. But what we are able to do in this case is to say, hey, if it's a customer who's a VIP customer who has the VIP tag in Shopify, in that case, you can tell AI agent, no, we don't want AI to take care of the sensitive customers who are the most important ones to our business. What we want to do is to pass them to a VIP team. So in that case, what AI agent is going to do is say, hey, thanks for being a VIP customer. Let me hand over the conversation to our team, and one of our best agents is going to get back to you. So the point I want to make with this is that it's not just about automating CX. It's about giving you control of what you want to do. Like you can say, in some instances, I want to respond immediately. I want to take some actions. In other instances, you may be like, hey, this one, like, please route it to my team because I want to keep control of what's going on, which is pretty important. So with the agent, you have control. You can say, okay, like some of the things I'm going to resolve and some of the things I'm going to hand over to the team. So let's talk about what the impact is when you deploy AI agents on your help desk. So first off is, that's the beauty of it. Something I love personally as a customer, like being a CEO of Gorgias. I shop a lot from our customers and obviously interact with CX. And I think the fact that you can respond to everything 24/7 within 1 minute is just fantastic. So that's something that's very, very impactful and also expected. The thing that is not expected is that the CSAT from AI agent is actually really good. 4.8 out of 5, whereas like the industry, among the Gorgias customers, the industry average is like 4.6. So it's actually doing better than an agent on average. And the reason for this is that customers are very sensitive to the speed of the response. And so if you respond really fast, then your CSAT goes up, which is like what's happening here. So really excited about AI agents doing well and being well received by customers. And so that's why I wanted to stress the importance of AI agents in the context of VSEM, is that I think if you haven't made those like temporary hires, that's definitely something that you can provide that allows you to have a 24/7 1 minute response time during the week of VSEM and the holiday. Oh, cool. I see Mike on the chat saying has helped us to reduce response time immensely when you're a small team. It's hard. Definitely agree. I was when I speak with merchants, specifically when your team doesn't have like a huge like 10 plus 20 plus people, that it's just hard to provide support around the clock. And what's also hard is that customers may be expecting immediate responses regardless, because they're like, hey, I usually shop from Amazon, so like, why don't you respond as fast as Amazon? But hey, we're a team of 5, so obviously it's hard. So I think that's why like leveraging AI to like providing these fast responses is something that is really valuable. So then one thing I talked about at the beginning is the fact that BFCM is a time where you have lots of first-time customers, and the question is like, what happens after that? Like, how do you leverage what has happened, all these conversations, all these orders, all these relationships that your business has established with new people? throughout the year. That's a bit of a personal story. I'm not the most stylish person, as you might tell from my outfits, but I grew up in like a small town in Normandy, and at the time I was shopping a lot from this guy on the right named Michael, who had like a small store. And I get back to that story because what's cool about this experience I had is like it was in store, it was with the person I knew and who knew me, and this person was like helping me out with like the sales questions, like making recommendations on what to buy, making like garment adjustments, stuff like that. And then he was also helping with like re-engaging me as a customer. So like for example, I would buy something and then like there was like a sale, and you would be like, "Hey, Roman, I know you like I don't know, like jeans of a special kind, and I just got some new ones, so you should come by to the shop and just like try them out." So there, I felt like I had this like one-to-one relationship with the founder of the brand. And back to what we were saying at the beginning, is like one of our strengths, I think, in the DTC ecosystem is like we have that brand. We are like we stand for something. We are like a small group of people with our own identity. And I think we want to keep that. Like we want more of these one-to-one interactions that you would have in a physical store at scale. That's what we're trying to do on the Gorgias side with the next steps. There's like a couple of things. So one is to have on the support side, have AI agents respond immediately, emulating the brand tone of voice and emulating the founder. So that's one side of it. And then what we want to do more of as well is get the AI to sell as well. So that means I'm on the site, I'm a bit lost, I'm like browsing around, and then I start a conversation with someone on the chat, and then I can speak with an AI who's gonna like make product recommendations. And we think that's how you drive loyalty and repeat, is by being very available to your customers, like talking to them, like having more conversations with your customers as opposed to reducing the cost of every conversation you have. And so that's something we're really excited about. Like we think that if you have lots of valuable one-to-one conversations that emulate this founder to customer interaction, then that's how you can grow your business. So really excited about these next steps. That's what we think the future is going to be looking like. So every conversation all in one place, that's already like quite there. Like you can add TikTok shop, you can add WhatsApp in 2024, like lots of new things here. If you set up an agent properly, and that requires some work on your side to like get the FAQ to be up to date, create the guidance, create the actions to like make edits in the warehouse. You can get to 60% automation rate, which is really exciting because then it frees time for your team to focus on selling, on building tactics around like how do we interact more with our website visitors and convert more. So yeah, I think really excited about this future because like we found a way to have human like one-to-one interactions in store, but like we haven't found a way to do it well online. And I think that's the way, is to like build an AI that responds immediately to your common questions and can sell, and then like escalate the most important conversations to humans, so that instead of responding to Wismo tickets, they can focus more on like, your high value customers. Cool. All right. So yeah, just wrapping up, like these are some of the brands that we work with on this. So there's brands that are like 10 to 50 million. So you can see a few of them here. Like Herschel is like one I like and shop from. On the right, there's like larger brands like Steve Madden. That's like much bigger, but doing really well with like a multi-brand scenario. So yeah, like we've made essentially agents available to like different types of brands of different sizes. All right, that's it for me. Thanks everyone for spending some time together. Hopefully, I convinced him to consider AI for BFCM, and you got a couple of good tips to get ready for the spike. And yeah, if you have any questions, any feedback on Gorgias, my email is like my first name, so Romain without the E at gorgias.com. So yeah, feel free to email me at any time to just chat.